Hi, I'm Matt Ellefson, and welcome to Fearless Friday. If you were recently diagnosed with cancer, you're probably like most of us. We really want to begin treatments as soon as possible and attack it with full force, but we don't have a clue where to begin. And because we don't have a clue where to begin, we defer to authority, our doctor, and allow fear to push us into the first available option. Although that approach is very common today, and many doctors still use the standard of care cookbook approach of throwing something at you and see what sticks, it doesn't work very well. Unfortunately, cancer is very complex, which is why that approach is not effective. That's why all of us at Team Survive It put together a downloadable document called 21 Questions to Ask Your Oncologist. Because from day one, you need to advocate for yourself. It's a known fact to all of us long-term survivors that well-informed cancer patients face their disease with less fear and have better outcomes. This document is a great tool to get started. It was developed in conjunction with our medical advisory board, our survivor advisory board, and many, many long-term survivors like me who have had way too many appointments to count. And if you've already started treatments and haven't had some of these questions answered yet, download it today and take it with you to your next appointment. Be sure to keep asking questions so they explain things in our language, a language we understand. I don't know where they come up with some of their crazy medical terms, so ask them politely to just speak in our language, please, right? You know what I mean? Our life depends on it, and we need to understand our condition fully and understand all options available to us in order to survive this disease. Believe me, if you have cancer, this is one of the most important documents you'll ever download. You can find the free download link below. So please download it and share it with anyone you know facing cancer. Some of the important questions you'll find are questions like number 4, was my biopsy analyzed for any specific mutations? And can genomic sequencing be performed to more specifically diagnose my cancer? If you have stage 3 or 4 cancer, this is extremely important. It's important because you can't fight an enemy until you know what that enemy is. You need to find out what gene abnormalities you have that are driving your cancer. Because something went wrong in the cells of your body and created some abnormal cancer cells. We need to find out what is doing that. And with today's technology, we can test for that. This isn't the normal test that you had called a pathology test that they did on your biopsy tissue when you were diagnosed. All that does is determine if those tumor cells are cancerous, and if so, what type of cancer cells they are, or in what organ did they start. Today we understand better just how complex cancer is. We're no longer only focused on treating cancer based on where it started, but more importantly, what gene mutation is driving the cancer. And a genomic sequencing test dives deeper into your cancer cells, looking at the genes inside those cells, and can determine which genes are abnormal or have what they call mutations. And these mutations are what is sending signals that cause your tumor cells to grow out of control. So it's very important to find out which genes are doing what. And this can be determined by having a genomic sequencing test performed on your biopsy tissue. It's something that's been around for a while, and it's very effective. Today, this is not standard of care, so you need to ask for it. And you need to ask to have a comprehensive full panel test performed, or else they will most likely only test for those gene mutations they know how to treat at their cancer center, which will be about 10 or 15. And our body has around 24,000 genes. And currently we know of between 300 and 400 genes that are capable of driving cancer. So if you have a rare mutation, they won't find anything. And you'll be stuck with the let's throw something at it and see what sticks approach, which isn't good. After you get the results back from your genomic sequencing test, which takes about 2 weeks, then an effective treatment plan can be designed to target those specific gene mutations that are driving your cancer. If you want an effective treatment plan, it's extremely important that you have comprehensive genomic sequencing tests performed on your biopsy tissue. Excuse me. We've provided a link below for the test we recommend that covers over 315 genes that are known to drive cancers. And we know this may be all new to you, so we made it easy for you. Print out that form in the link provided and take it to your doctor. It's just that easy. They will know what to do from there. In most cases, insurance covers this test. But if it doesn't, the test costs about $2,500. And if you can't afford that, they have a financial assistance program where you can have the test performed for around $100. So get it done today. Also, immunotherapies today are showing great results and in some cases put patients in long-term remission. It's truly incredible. But you need to be tested for a few biomarkers to determine if immunotherapies are right for you. There's still a lot to be learned about immunotherapies. For example, why do they work so well on some people, but not at all on others? Also, in some cases, immunotherapies can actually make your cancer worse. It's rare, but it does happen. So it's very important that you test for these biomarkers before beginning treatment on an immunotherapy. And the biomarkers you need to test for are the PD-L1 expression, the tumor mutational burden, the microsatellite instability, and the lymphocyte infiltration. You don't need to remember these. These are all listed in the 21 questions document and are automatically included in the testing we recommend. So once again, just print out the form in the link we provided and take it to your doctor. Question number 13, can you put me in contact with someone you've treated with this treatment plan? If your oncologist is not able to find someone they've treated that is still alive and willing to talk to you, seek a second opinion immediately. Question number 14, are there any clinical trials, immunotherapies, or off-label drugs I should consider? Don't be afraid to enroll in a clinical trial. Today's clinical trials are safe and more often than not can offer the very best treatment option available to you. I've been on 2 clinical trials and wouldn't hesitate to go on a clinical trial again. Without clinical trials, I wouldn't be alive today. It takes a very long time to get cancer treatment drugs FDA approved. And with clinical trials, you don't have to wait for their approval. Clinical trials allow you to receive tomorrow's medicines today. Question number 15. What cancer center or academic research center is doing the most research on my type of cancer? And can you refer me to this cancer research center for a second opinion? And a follow-up question to number 16. It is number 16. Should that cancer research center offer a targeted treatment plan or clinical trial that you don't offer, would you be willing to collaborate with them for follow-up care? Don't be afraid that you'll offend your oncologist by asking for a second opinion. This is not about him or her. This is about you. This is not his or her life. This is your life. If he or she makes you feel awkward or bad for asking about a second opinion, then you should seek another doctor immediately because they don't have your best interests at heart. And the last question, who is my point of contact for questions, concerns, and scheduling? How do I contact them? Get the name, email address, and phone number of your primary contact. It's very important that you're able to reach out to someone on your medical team with questions and or concerns that you might have. Believe me, you're going to feel aches and pains you've never felt before, and you're going to wonder if they're normal. And you need to have somebody available to reach out to and ask those questions, and someone who is able to respond or reply to you in a timely manner. And oftentimes that's not your doctor. And remember, you can always reach out to Survive at any time for any reason. You can reach out to us by emailing us at info@surviveit.org. We are always ready to help because that's who we are. We are survivors helping patients. Until next time, I'm Matt Ellefson. Stay strong and live fearless.